Hello there, this is my Logitech G430 gaming headset which I acquired first back when I was in university, and it has been together with me for a total of 6 years, and it's came everywhere with me since. So going to my first industry job, quitting that job, coming to China to teach English, returned to the UK where I was unemployed for quite a while, and then my final journey back to China and my current Beijing life. And well, yeah, this has been with me anywhere. It is not in a good condition, to say the least. It is broken, it is cracked, it's been taped back together multiple times. It is flimsy from years of use. There's literally zero tension in this headset. Yeah, it just feels terrible. The microphone itself, it will not stay up unless you take a piece of paper, fold it in half and jam it in there, which is something I've done for the last 2 years. Whoa. Oh yeah, it didn't stay up. And then also, the mic stopped working about a year ago. Thankfully, I acquired this microphone here due to the pandemic because I was doing online teaching and it would improve the video audio quality. So thankfully, I didn't actually need this that much. The padding itself is very worn, a lot of the materials come away, and it's 6 years, and even if I clean it, it still looks pretty terrible and gross. So that's not great. And the speakers themselves, they do work, but at high audio and certain frequencies, they give a bit of a crackling sound. So it's not great, and because of the dire condition this is in, it is time to move on. And I have moved on to this. This is the Logitech G Pro X. This is my new headset. And it's safe to say that this is, that's not really fitting on my head, I've got the beanie on, is much better than the old headset. But the thing is, I should have bought it sooner, I should have upgraded, I should have moved on, and that gave me the question, when is it time to move on? Because I have an issue, I have a problem, and that is what I'm going to be talking about in this video. So anyway, let's get on with it. Well, when it comes to assessing whether or not I should live on, there's one main factor I normally consider, which is lifetime value. If I pay money for this product, how many years will I use it, and how much is it per year of value? The longer I use something, the better value, the more money I'm saving, especially because if I'm using it for longer, I also don't need to buy a replacement. And this financially has helped me out really, really well when it comes to saving money. Now, my Logitech G430 headset, that cost me £40 6 years ago. That is £6.66 per year. Fantastic value for a headset. I also have this. This is my Wacom Bamboo drawing tablet. I bought this for £40 10 years ago. That is £4 per year. If I ever need to draw, sketch or sculpt, it can do the job just fine. It is still working, fantastic value. My phone, this is my phone. It is quite old, it's 5 years old now. It is the Huawei P10, not just the P10, the P10 Lite. And that works out 5 years, £192, which is £38 per year. I've looked at notes, I haven't done that in my head, I'm not smart. Okay, so pretty much this has been my main thing. I've been caught up in the money, the savings, it served me well. But the problem with this though, is that if you're focusing so much on money and savings, you don't realize when something may not meet its function or fulfill its desired purpose, and then at that point it becomes a hindrance. And even though you're saving money, your quality of life is getting worse. So is it worth saving money to not improve your quality of life or make it worse? Well, that depends. How broken is it, or what is the functionality and the issue of that? So for example, my headset, it's flat out broken. It looks terrible. The headphones work, but it's debatable whether or not it's a good audio quality. The mic's just gone and busted. For that, it's very easy. I should move on. But my Wacom tablet, which once again I have here, fantastic. I love this. Look at it. Woo. It still works just fine. I have no reason to replace it. The amount of sculpting or drawing I do is quite minimal, and I don't need something like a Cintiq. Yeah, some of my friends find this a little bit funny because it is old, but I don't need any functionality. If I needed something new or a new feature, maybe it's time to move on. But if it still works, ain't broke, don't fix it. And also the same, what I'm using right now, I've got my camera. It doesn't actually have an autofocus on there, which is a bit inconvenient from recording, but I can still use it fully as a digital camera, and that's its main purpose, so I don't really care that much about it. However, the SD card within my camera has a maximum recording time of 12 minutes due to its slow write speed. Now, that's inconvenient because I can be talking at times or making a video and then it can just cut off, which means at that point I need to just press the button to record again. Now, it's not a giant problem, but it is a hindrance. So for longer record times, it's probably worth me going ahead and buying a new SD card, especially considering how cheap they are, and it will save me time and means if I say something, I don't need to re-record it. So functionality, quality of life. My tablet still works fine, don't need to replace. My headset, destroyed, ruined. And then this SD card in this camera, a little bit of convenience, make your life better. Yes, you're spending money, but it's probably going to be worth it. Now, the next thing that matters to me, which is not functionality related or money related, is sentimental value, preservation, and lack of e-waste. So this is very much feeling based. If I can use something for a very long time, it means I'm not buying a new product to replace it and it'll get thrown in a tip or a scrap yard somewhere. So that's one of the nice things about using something for a long time, is you can feel like you're not contributing to destroying our planet or making it worse. But also, I find it really cool using old technology well past its lifespan. All the way until 2017, I was using an incredibly old Packard Bell keyboard that still had an internet button on it because it still worked. It looked strange, but it was a mechanical keyboard, it was fully functional, and it was great. It was old, but I guess for most people it would be ugly, and that's something which would end up as in a tip, but I easily extended its life maybe 8 more years past what it really should have been made for. And the same as well, when I was a teenager, I used to collect old games consoles and things like that. So an Atari 7800, Atari 2600. It's outdated hardware, but it's kind of cool to have and own because it's like you have a little part of history. And even something like an old VCR. I had the original Batman movies and the original Pokemon movie on VHS back in England. Knowing that I could pop in that tape and get that OG experience, I think that's interesting and pretty neat, so I enjoy that. However, I think there is a time when preservation is no longer preservation. So for example, my headset, or if something breaks, you can tape it up, you can do a short-term solution to get it working, but there is a certain level when you're no longer preserving an item, but you're just holding waste that you should throw out. And then at that point, you're becoming more of a hoarder. So yeah, short and temporary, then get a replacement or something like that. So my headset, I probably should have got rid of that when the mic stopped working a year ago, and then I've been keeping around a piece of junk. Not great. But also, there are some times as well, even if something doesn't meet its function, and you go on an upgrade to something else, you can keep the old version as a backup. So I went ahead and I bought my new headset. However, my old headset is in such a state that it's not a good backup. However, if I was to buy a new SD card for my camera, if I did lose my new one or broke my new one, I could always keep my old one as a backup because it's not broke, but I can still not throw it out and contribute to, well, e-waste. So yeah, it's good to have a backup, but not if it's trash or junk. Now, the final step as well, similar to sentimental value or feeling good about not wasting stuff, which is a feeling not connected to money, not connected to functionality, but sometimes it's nice to own something new, to get something in the box with new features. If you bought something a little bit more expensive, which it is nice to do from time to time, because if I save money, I may be buying cheap stuff. If I spend some more money on something more expensive, which may last for longer, great, but spending or getting something which is nice, new, never opened before, and you get that fresh experience. So for example, when I had this, it's got metal, it's got leather, it hasn't got cloth, it has multiple interchangeable pads, it came with a travel bag. Does that matter? No, but if I take it somewhere, it's fantastic. It also has the functionality for me to disconnect and reconnect all my cables. Also, I can plug this into my phone if I so wish and use it as a normal headset. And it's just nice to have something that works well, is new, and you can make the most of that new experience. Even like the microphone. If I don't need the microphone, I can just unplug it, which I can't do with that, even though it's been broken for so long. So yeah, it's nice to have something new. The same when I got my headset, my Blue Yeti headset, which Blue Yeti is owned by Logitech as well. This is like a Logitech promotion, but it isn't, but pay me money, please. But it's good, because when I bought this, and I had higher quality sound, I was buzzing. It was a fantastic feeling. And you see, that's the point, where if you keep something for a long time, the quality of life goes down. But if you get new things that are better to a higher standard and may last longer, your quality of life is getting up. So it's not just about reducing e-waste, but improving yourself and your life as well. So anyway, I think that is our conclusion, and I've talked about everything, which is saving money, functionality, preservation, and buying things new is nice, which it is. So anyway, I guess let's summarize. Let me have a quick look at my notes. So overall, when is it time to move on? Is it broke? Yes, move on. Is it trouble? Is it a hindrance? Yeah, move on. I should replace this SD card. Can you afford it? Well, if you don't have the money to buy something new, you need to make do. But if you do, move on. So yeah, if it's yes to all 3 things, or even one of those things, just go ahead, move on, get something new. And this is something which I should really have done sooner. But anyway, that's all. If you like, dislike. Any comments, comment. And if you want to see more from me, subscribe. Next video should be a 3D printing one. If you see the helmet there, I'm doing that at the moment, and I've put it off forever. So anyway, thank you for watching, and goodbye.